Hey y'all, if you are returning to my channel, welcome back, and if you're new, welcome aboard. So today is going to be another Disney story time video. We're going to talk about some of my roommate interactions while I was working at Disney World. I can't believe it, but it's already upon us again. The anniversary of my time starting the college program is this coming week. So I was thinking about my roommates that I had while I was there, and I was like, I haven't talked really about them very much, but I have a few stories about some of the fun interactions I had with some of my roommates. The first one was I was at the parks with one of my roommates. We were hanging out at Animal Kingdom, and we were walking around, and we were actually going over to Camp Mini Mickey because that was still a thing. That's where Pandora is now, the world of Avatar. It was Camp Mini Mickey at the time. We were going over to see Festival of the Lion King. And we were walking and we heard a PhotoPass photographer talking to a family, and he said, "Sonria." And I was like, I think that's smile. I think Sonria is smile and Ria is laugh, right? Trying to remember my Spanish. And without missing a beat, this girl, let me give it to you exactly how it happened. Sonria. Sonria is smile, right? And Ria is laugh? I don't know. But gonorrhea is no good. Hard to argue with that one. The next one was with a roommate that actually was not my roommate for very long. She ended up leaving the program pretty quickly after she got there. But we had some weird stuff happen while she was living there, and I never actually really even got to speak to her because I worked mainly at night and she worked mainly during the day. So when I was asleep, she was, working, and vice versa. So we never really crossed paths, but I was in a 2-bedroom apartment. I guess technically an apartment. I was in a 2-bedroom at Vista Way, back in the day. And we had one bedroom had just a shower in the bathroom, and then the bedroom that I was in had a shower tub combo situation. One day I came home from work and I went and got him, I went to go take a bath. It's like 2, 3 in the morning, and all I wanted was a hot bath. And I get in the tub and there's noodles, like pasta noodles, in my tub. I was the only one awake, so I couldn't go find anyone. I didn't ask anyone. I wasn't gonna wake anyone up and be like, why is there pasta in the tub? I have no idea why there were noodles in the tub. But that was the same roommate that after she left, there was only one other roommate with me, and we went into the pantry one day. We were going through some stuff, and we found a box of popcorn that wasn't either of ours. I was like, is this yours? And she says, no, it's not mine. So I'm like, oh, weird. Okay, well, I guess it was hers. But it feels really light. Popcorn's pretty light, but this feels really light. I was like, oh, maybe it's empty. And we open it up, and there's no popcorn in this popcorn box. There were 2 pairs of underwear, women's underwear, rolled up and stuck in the popcorn box. So we lovingly refer to that as the day that we found the panties in the popcorn. And there's a photo of it because I didn't make this up, I swear. This was not the size of clothing that this girl would have worn, so they weren't hers, and it wasn't mine, and it wasn't my other roommate who still lived there. So we have no idea how the panties got into the popcorn, why the panties got in the popcorn, whose panties they were in the popcorn. This is the most I've ever said the word panties. Ever, not just on YouTube, just ever in general. But yeah, that was just another one of the things that we were like, huh? There's pasta, and panties, and popcorn. Maybe that'll be the title of the video. Maybe that's what I'll call it. The last little story is about how roommates can really be the highlight of your college program. And I had random roommates. All of mine were random, including after one of them left early, then I got some new ones, and still fantastic. Also at my wedding, love these girls. But I had a time that it was the last week of my program. There were these 2 14-year-old boys that came to the Jungle Cruise for 4, maybe 5 days in a row, and they would come constantly. I don't know if they were local. I don't know if they were on a family vacation and just were sent out into the world, but they were definitely teenagers. They were definitely the same kids, and they definitely wanted to be on the Jungle Cruise as much as possible, which I don't understand. I love the jungle, but I'm not gonna ride jungle back to back to back. The script doesn't change that much between skippers. But anyway, they came nonstop over the course of, like I said, 4 or 5 days. And they rode pretty much everyone's boat that I knew. And I had somehow avoided having them on my boat, which I was thankful for, because my friends who had them were like, oh my gosh, they're so disruptive. Like, they have been on so many times now. They know the jokes. They try to tell them before you do. They try to get the punchlines in. They try to like call you out. They try to like trip you up. They talk over you. It's awful. And so I'm very small. I'm very soft-spoken. If I had a boat that wasn't the Irma, that had a good mic, like, I did not want to have to deal with these two. So I was like, man, please do not give me these two 14-year-old bullies. Like, I was barely older than them. I was 19. So I was like, please, 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 I don't want to have to deal with these. And for the first several days, I avoided it. But one night, I was stalling. I hate stalling. And I had them on my boat. They were sitting right at the front, like on the crates in the middle, literally as close to me as they could possibly be. And I could, you know, I was like, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna see. Maybe they're not as bad as I'm expecting. Maybe they're just charming young gentlemen. They weren't. So I'm like, where's everybody from? Doing the whole stalling thing. And I'm awkward. I just am. And they were like ribbing at me. They were like poking me, like literally like poking me with their fingers and like trying to get my attention and mess with me. And I'm like, hey guys, quit, like knock it off. And I completely did not even see my roommates get on my boat. They were sitting behind these two, and these two were so distracting that I did not even notice my roommates, who I've been living with for months at this point. This is the last week of my program. We've met. So I'm like, oh, where's everybody from? And I hear, I'm from London. And I'm like, I turned to say, oh, my roommate's from London. And then I hear, and I'm from Mississippi, hotty toddy. And I was like, yes, yes, I'm not alone on this boat, because I was just dreading having to do this cruise, because I did not want to have to deal with these two. But having my friends there, like, they were overly exuberant, and they were, you know, laughing at all of the jokes and responding to all the stuff that I, you know, any questions I ask, they would respond, and anything that's like a prompt, they knew that and they would do it. God bless these girls. Like, if I didn't love them before, I definitely loved them after that cruise, because they kept the two teenage boys at bay, and there is no greater compliment. There is nothing better that you can do for a friend. That is it. Those are some of the stories that I have about my roommates when I was working at Walt Disney World. Love those girls to pieces. They were great roommates, and we didn't know each other coming into it. So if you are doing the college program, or if you're going to college and you are concerned about having like a random roommate situation and you hear all these horror stories, just know that it can work out. Like, it can be a really good thing. You may end up with really good roommates that you may not have picked otherwise. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, y'all.